crowd. Got a problem with me, I said, y'all got the same friend that I came in with, ducking all that lane. Hey, everyone that knows on go. I rolled in the 4x4. Believe if a kid gon' go see me with, ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk, they roll by the car lot when bought it. Call case at the case and a phone. They will watch you give a that. I live the day rap.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. They get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
319! 319!
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So a good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100+ in this one in order to stay in that race.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Go with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. You've got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
they
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
On 2nd down, Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that is incomplete. And this passing game, his whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now a pitch out to Kamara. Room here to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. But they face a second and long to start things out.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now a pitch out to Michel. And some room to work. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Here we go. Blue landed.
On the toss, here's Michel. He'll have another first down and more. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield for the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carriers. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation, 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that third touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way,
blitz coming, and down he goes.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
319.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure.
And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. Now, looky there. He's getting close to 1,000. I'm sure he knows where he stands. I bet if the offensive line didn't know, he made sure they knew. I'm closing in, guys. Final week of the season.
You know who really informed the offensive line? The offensive line coach.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal for his unit as well to be able to say, hey, we escorted guys to 1,000 yards or more in a season, just like blocking for a 3,000-yard or 4,000-yard passer. So it's a lot of pride on the line, and his pride is paramount because he wants to be able to join that pantheon of guys that in the NFL ran for 1,000 yards or more in a season.
Pride on the line. I see what you did there.
You like that?
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
On third down, Michel. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
Boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Rodgers now on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. Rodgers to throw once more. Caught on the right side by Adams. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Our first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And again, it's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a
rush coming, and he's taken down. Alex Okafor in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Here's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the score. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now, before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Toss play, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. He's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point. So we've come upon halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
No. Check. Patriot.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Set. 3-19.
Now a toss. Kamara left side. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. A second spin. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
Tell me.
that's exactly what they pointed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
On play action, Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. Sheds off the tackle. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Williams. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. Room to run inside the 40. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. With touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if it's a foot race. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers get a score closer. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown in.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Coverage there by Von Bell. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on third down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now they'll toss it out right to Kamara. And some room to roam now. And down inside the 15 he goes. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Michelle, they toss it out right to it. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Saints are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. On 1st down, Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Fielded at about the 28. And they're running right through it. So possession goes over here on the punt. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle there by Clay Matthews.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, well, we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And it's taken in at the 9. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
Check, Patriot!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground on 1st, Michelle. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.